Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, is basically recovering a little bit. We're heading into the weekend. Friday was, and also Thursday, both days were more interesting than basically the entire week before. Since last Friday, obviously, until yesterday, the market had just been moving in this ongoing sideways correction without a lot of movement. Last weekend was boring. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were boring. On Thursday, finally, things started to move as we were heading lower here towards that target area of wave 5 of the A wave. The A wave within this larger fourth wave correction that we're dealing with. So I think the short term is quite interesting at the moment. We've seen from this, this Thursday, Friday low on the 11th of January, we've seen this quite direct move to the downside into the last Friday's lows here. I considered that only a 3-wave move within a 5-wave pattern of an A wave. We highlighted that with a high likelihood this was only wave 4 and one more low to come in wave 5. So that all happened. And then the question was, okay, where should it go to? And I gave you a target area. The target area was respected and the price recovered. And then the question was, okay, is this now all of wave A or do we get another low? And I mentioned yesterday, late yesterday, that it would look better with one more low, or earlier today actually. And that one more low happened as well. And now it's pretty much full, that wave count. And then it's all about just watching for resistance to break. And what level that was communicated earlier today. I communicated it in our Signals channel for gold members. But I also posted it on Twitter, the X network, earlier today. Feel free to follow us for additional updates about, trading mindset, short-term market updates. We post some of them there, obviously far less than we post in the gold membership. But occasionally, you get some free updates here as well in between the videos. So feel free to check that out. I mentioned that obviously the forecasted additional low has formed. And it takes a break, and that's really knowledge, golden knowledge, that can be very helpful. That this break above 41,572 could serve as an initial indication that a low in wave A has formed. And at the time when I posted it, the price was still below that resistance area, okay? Now we have moved above it. Now that means, obviously, in line with that update, that we have an initial indication that the A wave has indeed formed a low. That would be great, because then we can be watching now for a B wave rally going forward. So, and this is what we now can talk a little bit more about. Obviously, the condition for this is that it's now holding above the intraday low. That's an absolute must, or the idea that, a low is in is logically invalidated. It might then just make another marginally lower low, but at the moment, for the first time here in this decline, I say that, okay, I assume now the A wave has bottomed. Okay, if I assume it, doesn't mean it's definitely the case. And also a break above resistance is not full confirmation, but it's our earliest indication we can get really that a low has formed, and it seems to sustain above resistance, which is now a good sign and really would support the idea that possibly indeed the A wave has bottomed. Okay, so what does that mean for the B wave? So first of all, B waves cannot really be predicted. Well, I can say that probably one is going to happen. How exactly it's going to look like is difficult to determine. Obviously, it should be an ABC structure. Yeah, I don't have enough evidence what this is yet. Obviously, there's this ascending trend line. The price needs to break above basically today's intraday high. And then we have structural resistance around 42,900. But a healthy B wave should take the price sort of at least to $44,470. Please be aware that B waves can also overshoot. Normally not when the A wave is a 5-wave move, but if it's 3 or 5 waves, is also a matter of interpretation, to a degree subjective. I could also argue that all of this was an A wave, this was a B wave, this is a C wave, and I've got my 3 waves. Doesn't look right really, but it's technically possible. So we always have to be prepared that B waves, especially in crypto, they tend to overshoot. I'm not primarily looking for that because of the 5-wave pattern here. In the A wave, then typically a B wave will not overshoot. But still, this is just the standard resistance or retracement area. 44,470, 45,500, and then 47,000 basically are the ideal, let's call it, resistance retracement areas and or levels. And then we are watching for a reaction somewhere here in this region. I will actually move the resistance area a little bit to the right. Yeah, and then again, I'm typically I'm going to track. Typically, I'm tracking an ABC pattern in the beginning, but obviously, such a B wave can morph and transform, can develop into a WXY pattern. Lots of different configurations here possible, but this is what I'm watching for first, and there could be some resistance already at $43,460. From this area then, I'm going to watch for a potential reaction and the move to the downside in wave C of 4 next. But the B wave can now take a while to play out, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.